one of the weirdest stories that I've seen during this pandemic was a story that the New York Post ran with photos talking about the New York City medic who had helped make ends meet with a racy OnlyFans side gig. Now, apparently, as you're gonna find out, this medic did not want to be profiled in this way, certainly didn't want her personal information to be given out. She was just trying to literally survive during this pandemic. And for the New York Post to do this seems like the complete opposite of what journalism is supposed to be about. Now, she is being defended. Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez replied to that New York Post tweet saying, leave her alone. The actual scandalous headline here is medics in the United States need 2 jobs to survive. And so, like, this is being made out to be sort of like a scandalous story that's supposed to be fun or something like that. This is a person who is working, like these are remember, like we spent the whole last year saying that these people are heroes and acknowledging all the risks that they're taking and all of that. To then treat one who is suffering financially in this way, in this sort of callous way, not caring about their privacy, that seems to me to be a very weird way to approach this.
Yeah, I mean, the New York Post hates women. The New York Post hates people living in poverty, so on and so forth. We know this. This is not new, but this is shaming and attacking on a whole nother level, right? To do a story and take her photos and basically throw her to your millions of audience members is actually one of the most disgusting things I've ever seen in quote unquote journalism, right? And AOC is right. The issue will never be people having to do what they have to do to make money. And there's no issue also with sex work. I'm not really sure what's on her OnlyFans, but if it is aligning with sex work, that's perfectly fine as well. The issue here is that, like you said, the people that we've called heroes for the last year, the essential workers, the people who she's a healthcare provider, and we're shaming her because we don't pay her enough. We don't give her the resources to survive in a pandemic while she's helping other people. It's disgusting, and it's one of the worst things I've seen in a long time, especially from anybody.
Exactly, and in reading about this story, I found out I would have assumed, because I am even at this late age still naive about this country, that if you're working in this sort of field, and especially in a big city like that you must get paid well. This requires advanced training, years of schooling, and all of that. But when she originally went in as an emergency medical technician in 2018, she was earning $15 per hour, where the living wage in that city is $18 per hour. She has a ton that she's gonna have to pay back after the tuition. She's now earning a little bit more, but barely more than a living wage, has family medical issues that she has to help repay. And so, like, if we're gonna have a country that is going to put people in this horrible situation where if you try to pursue a career like this that is helping people on a daily basis, you're going to potentially be in a financial hole for the rest of your life. So she takes up effectively a second job to try to make ends meet and is treated this way. Now, I wanna read a comment from her. She says, at the end of the day, it doesn't affect how I treat people, talking about her OnlyFans account. What I do in my free time is my business. It has no effect on how I care for my patients. I know when I'm working, I'm a paramedic. I think I'm pretty good at my job. There are plenty of people who are medical professionals who have every right to do what they want with their own bodies. I'm not doing it at work. Healthcare workers aren't making a lot of money, and I'm not the only one trying to make ends meet. And I like, what a backwards country are. You know what's wrong with having an OnlyFans account? I don't, nothing, absolutely nothing. It doesn't, like, this isn't the 20s. Like, honestly, why are we being held back by people that are gonna try to shame people out of like making extra? She's closed down the account. Like, hopefully she is still going to be able to survive, although God only knows what sort of lingering social issues she's gonna have as a result of this needless attention being paid by the New York Post.
Well, first of all, I'm hoping that she finds some way to sue the New York Post. That's number one, because they've effectively impacted her income. Number two, we should just call it what it is. She's a woman of color. She's a woman and a person of color, right? And that's what the New York Post and many outlets do. You'd rather shame people who are on the margins as opposed to call out the systems in place. And once again, AOC stepped up with her platform is bringing attention to the right side of things. This is disgusting.
For more political news breakdowns, interviews, stories of activism, and me trying my hardest to care about the occasional big celebrity news story, subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/thedamagereport. And you can ring the bell wherever it is so you don't miss anything.